All right, so hi Wilson, thanks for being here on time. I'm going to be starting today's class with you. All right, how do you feel, Wilson? Is everything okay?
Yes, teacher, is everything okay?
Great, that's great to know, Wilson. So let's begin, okay? Let's begin together. Today we have to start with Unit 4. All right, and this is the last unit. So we have a new file, all right, that's the first thing that we have. And we have new assignments, all right, that the last ones. And yes, I just find out, I'm going to repeat this again when your partners are here, but Monday is going to be holiday once again. Okay, so Monday there's not going to be classes. So the last class is going to be on Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday. No conversation on Tuesday. Instead of the conversation, we are going to have the class. All right, the last class for you to finish, because remember that you need 3 days, right? It's going to be today, Wednesday, it's going to be Friday, and it's going to be a Tuesday in this case. So I'm just going to go here. I'm going to check gradebook to see what you have assigned and to assign the last elements. Okay, so you have 119, that's up to unit 3, and you have, most of you have these 3 quizzes, right? The 3 quizzes for unit 3. So what I'm going to do now, and your partners are not here yet, but I'm going to assign, all right, in front of you, Wilson, unit 4. So give me 1 second. Everything should be assigned except for that one. Yes. Good. Okay, there you go. So everything as always, please, and it is going to be until Tuesday, right? As I was showing you, this is going to be until Tuesday. So it's going to start now, yes, and it's going to be up to Tuesday next week. All right, so you have a lot of time to complete this one. And also I'm going to assign the final test now, that it's going to be available for you, all right, starting this weekend, and it's going to be up to that Tuesday as well. Okay, so there you go. These are the assignments. So it's done. And the final exam is this one over here, Model B tests. And here you have Model B integrated skills. So the final exam is going to include all the information, all the contents that we learned. All right, it's only one, of course. It's for all of you. And this one, as I told you, is not going to start now. But if you feel ready, you can start and you can take it on Saturday. Okay, Saturday, 6 a.m. That's the starting date for the final exam. And it's going to be as the other one up to that Tuesday. All right, up to that Tuesday, 11:59 p.m. All right, the last class is going to be just for review. So if you want, you can wait until Tuesday. We have the class, and then you can take the final exam. All right, but that's what we are doing, Wilson. Again, if you have any questions, you are going to let me know. For the final exam, you have 60 minutes. All right, it's 10 more minutes than it is for quizzes. And there you go. Okay, so that's everything related to Pearson. All right, with that, we are finishing Pearson with this course, and we only have to work on the units. If you have any questions, please, you are going to let me know. Again, because of your partners are here, I'm going to just give a short reminder of everything, but the main idea is there. Okay, but let me show you. This is for all of you. So Larissa and Paola with Wilson, we were assigning the last unit and the final exam. Okay, I'm going to show you the dates. So unit 1 is done, unit 2 is done, unit 3, this is unit 3, and it's also done. No, this is unit 3, it's also done. And now this is unit 4. Okay, unit 4 is available. You can start today. and it's going to be up to Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday is going to be the last day of classes we're going to have. So finishing this week, next week, Monday is holiday, and Tuesday is the last day of classes. And also that day is the last day for you to complete all these assignments. All right, so it's going to be May the 3rd, and that's Tuesday. All right, so you have to complete all these assignments. Everything is for that day, and you can start now, as I told you, well, after this class. And you also have the final exam. All right, the final exam is going to be available starting April the 30th, and that's Saturday. Okay, this Saturday. As you can see, Saturday the 30th, that's the date in which you can take the final exam if you want, and it's going to be also until May 3rd. Okay, so it's going to be that weekend, Monday and Tuesday. And that Tuesday is the last day for taking the final exam. All right, so those are the dates, Wilson, again, Larissa, and Paola. If you have any questions about that, please let me know. All right, it's important that you can let me know. Here in Unit 3, yes, you had also the exam, right? Don't forget about that. I think most of you took that exam, but don't forget about it. I'm going to show you the gradebook. All right, most of you took everything except for one person. So please try to compensate that one with this final exam, right? Remember that we took the 3rd quiz already. All right, so this is what you got so far. This is the new unit, and you have 4 because that's the final exam. Okay, that's it. If you have any questions related to Pearson, please let me know before we can go to the new unit and the new lesson. No? All right. So then with that, we are kind of finishing again everything with Pearson. I'm just going to open Pearson in case you have questions about it. But now let's go to the new document. All right, as always, we have a new file for this last unit, and the link is in the chat. Now let's work. I know that some of you or all of you know this structure, but it's important to review the structure in case you know it. If it's new to you, you're going to learn, of course, but also to compare this expression with other similar expressions. All right, the title says used to. So what comes to your mind, Paola, when you read that one? Used to. It's not here. She left. Okay, so then let's work with you, Larissa, then. All right, it's going to be with you, Larissa. The same question, Larissa. What comes to your mind when you read used to? Oh, how can you explain this expression?
Used to, the to is used to mention something.
Okay, but what specifically, when do you use used to? In what context, Larissa? What's the purpose according to you? What do you say?
To somewhere, to I don't know, to specific something.
All right, let's try to give them an example. All right, we're going to see if it's going to be correct. Used to. How can you use used to in one example, Larissa? What do you say?
I used to remember. I used to play soccer.
All right, and what's the meaning behind that one? The idea is correct, Larissa. I used to play soccer. What do you mean when you say that? When do you, what do you mean? Tell me, Larissa.
Something I did in the past. I regularly did it.
Very good. I think that's a great explanation. Something that you regularly did in the past, right? But what about now? Do you still play soccer? If you say I used to play soccer, what about the present? Do you still play soccer or not anymore?
Not anymore.
Perfect. Thank you, Larissa. That is correct. Good. Okay, so let's have that in mind. Something that you regularly did in the past, but not anymore. Okay, that's very important. And you can explain this works for habits in past, right? Or habits in the past. So again, actions that were repeated before in the past, but you don't do anymore, right? That's very important. Something that you don't do anymore. Good. So let's just give some examples. And I'm going to go with you this time, Wilson. What are two things, Wilson? What are two things that you did, okay, regularly before, but you don't do anymore, Wilson?
I used to play guitar, and I used to play with my friends in my neighborhood.
Very good. Thank you, Wilson. I'm going to ask you now some questions. And one detail, remember that for all musical instruments, okay, you're always going to use the article the. Okay, so I used to play the, okay, and after guitar is going to have the stress in the second part. Okay, so it's going to be I used to play the guitar. Okay, in the last part is going to be the stress. All right, let's repeat that idea, please, Wilson.
Okay, I used to play the guitar.
Okay, great, perfect. Now the second idea, because everything is good, Wilson, why? Why don't you play the guitar anymore, and why don't you play with your friends from your neighbor anymore?
Because I don't have time for both cases.
Great, thank you very much, Wilson. That's valid and that's correct. All right, thank you. Good. So actions or things that we did regularly, all right, as habits in the past, but we don't do anymore. Right, so good. That was again a good way to illustrate, right, with those two examples. Now, let's go to the topic, because this is not going to be hard. I can see that you know this one. Let's read this the definition with you, please, Daniel.
Okay, we use this expression to talk about habits or repeated actions in the past, which we don't do in the present. We also use it to talk about states in the past which are no longer true. For example, I used to have long hair, but now I have short hair. He used to smoke, but now he doesn't smoke. They used to live in India, but now they live in Germany.
Thank you, Daniel. So it's what we were saying, right? Things that were true or were happening before, but now they don't, okay? They don't happen anymore. They are not true anymore. And as you can see in the examples, right, are similar examples to the ones that Wilson gave us. So you used to do something, but you don't do that anymore. Okay, that's the idea. So there's always, not always, but almost always going to be a contrast after that sentence. Okay, after used to. And for negative, the only thing you do is the following. And this is going to be for you, please, Paola. Negative.
Okay, we use didn't for negative sentences and change the express to the base form. used to. I didn't used to eat fish. Now I eat fish. She didn't used to go out. She goes out a lot currently. They didn't used to dance together. They dance together every weekend now.
Great. Thank you very much, Paola. So the same idea, right? Just that here you tell this idea in negative. And this is past, right? This is past, so you say didn't, right? So I used to play outside every time, but not anymore. Or I didn't used to play outside, right? But now I do it. So the same idea, just one is affirmative, the other one is negative, all right? So let's just have a look because we're going to write some examples, please. This is affirmative. I used to plus the verb in the base form, right? I used to plus the verb in the base form. I didn't use, right here, you don't use the D because didn't is auxiliary. When you have auxiliaries, you don't conjugate the verb in past, right? I didn't use to. So it's only use, but here it's used. All right, that can be a common mistake. That's why I'm remarking that detail. So please, if you have any questions, let me know. Again, I think that you don't have any problems with this lesson. In case you have questions, let me know. But let's do the following, please, guys. Everybody, Wilson, Larissa, Daniela, and Paola. Just in case, I'm sharing the link once again. Let's go to that document, please. Again, it's a new file, a new document. And let's write 4 examples, please. Okay, 2 affirmative examples. Tell me 2 things that you used to do, but not anymore. And tell me 2 things that you didn't used to do, but you now do. All right, let's do it. Daniel, let me know, please, if you have any questions.
Teacher, will we see the present continuous we used to or not really? Because I have a question.
We're going to see the other ways, right? It's not going to be present continuous, but the present idea, right?
The
This
present
one,
idea.
you're talking about this one, right? Be used to plus the ing, correct?
Okay, okay. Yes.
Okay, so yes, we're going to cover that one, and also we're going to cover get. That is very, very similar. All right?
All right, thank you.
Good. You're welcome. There you go. So let's do it, please, guys. We're going to give ourselves a few minutes. Let's finish 2 affirmative ideas and 2 negative ideas with things that you used to or didn't used to do. All right, we'll check in 1 minute, please. 1 more minute. All right, so let's take a look at your examples. It's the 3 minutes. Let's remember it was 2 affirmative ideas, right? I used to go out every night, and 2 negative ideas. I didn't use, right, to go out every night. And it means, right, in other words, that now you don't do that anymore, or you do that now, right? It depends if it's affirmative or negative. That's the idea that you give me, all right? Now, let's take a look at what you got. I'm going to start with you. Let me see. Let's start with you, please, Wilson. All right, you have your ideas almost completed, so let's take advantage of that. Let's read your 4 examples, please.
Okay. I used to go out with my friends on weekends, but now we don't do it because we are too busy. I used to teach physics to kids. I didn't used to eat some foods with onions, but now I don't care. And I didn't used to dance, but now I love dancing. Any kind of dances.
Good, great. I think that last correction is very good, Wilson. Any kind of dance sounds very good. So I think it's working great. I'm going to take a look at that correction now, all right? It's weird that you have that one there from Google, all right? Sometimes Google analyzes everything, right, as a whole idea, but not every time is correct because it can interpret ideas in a different way, okay? But the first one, very good, even punctuation, right? Comma, now here you have options, Wilson, and it depends on you, all right? Here you can use optional commas, but again, it's optional. That's why it's not going to be something you have to do. Why? Because now it's going to be like, you call this an interrupter, okay? Or parenthetical phrase or introductory phrase, because now is not your subject, right? So, but is the connector. Now is time reference, right? Time reference, Wilson, usually goes at the end. Okay, so the correct order in English would be comma, but we don't do it now because we are busy. Okay, that's the correct order, but I'm not telling you to change. But you can use that at the beginning. But if you use that at the beginning, it means that you need another comma. Okay, but sometimes it's not obligatory when you have even another comma before. That's why it's optional. Okay, so if you want to be very formal, Wilson, you're going to say comma, but, comma, now, comma, we don't do it because we are too, and this one with double O, right? We are too busy to do it. Okay, that one over there. Then here, yes, I imagine that you don't do that anymore. I didn't used to eat some food with onions, but now I don't care for it. The same, right? Here can be optional. It's up to you how formal you want to be, or simply you can avoid it. Now in this one, right, they want to use it like that, but that's incorrect. Okay, you have to use it only to use. And here to dance, but now I love dances. Any kind would be only of dance, all right? Or I love dance. Any kind of styles could be, or a lot of styles of dance or something like that, all right? It's not incorrect, but I would only say any kind of dance or any kind or a lot of styles or genres. Okay, that's going to be an option, Wilson, over there. I don't know if you have
Okay.
any questions up to that part. Let me know, please.
No, teacher. It's
Okay.
clear.
Okay, thank you. There you go. Now I'm going with you, please. Paola, I see yours up there. Let's read your ideas, please.
Okay. I used to live in United Kingdom. I used to ride a horse, but now I don't have time. I didn't used to eat pistachios, but now I like it. I didn't used to do exercise, but now I go to the gym 5 days a week.
Great. Thank you very much, Paola. I think, again, it's working great. And again, as I was telling to Wilson, the only thing I'm going to mention here, Paola, is that you have this option, right, with the commas. Again, it's weird that you have that correction from Google, the other one, but this is the only thing, okay? This can be optional if you want to be very formal, but everything is working great, Paola. I don't know if you have any questions about the structure. Let me know, please, if you do.
Teacher, if I put the comma before but, you don't need the comma after, or you need to put 2 commas?
Actually, if you have this, Paola, now is a time reference, okay? Usually, as I was saying, the time reference goes at the end of the idea, okay? And when it doesn't go at the end of the idea, then you need a comma to separate the time reference from the subject. Now is the time reference and I is the subject, okay? So formally speaking, Paola, you would need at least 2 commas. It will be comma but, that's obligatory if you have to complete ideas, okay? That's obligatory. And at least the second comma would be after now, because that's to separate or to divide the time reference from the subject, okay? And if you want to be very, very formal, you're going to need 2 more commas. That is before now and after now, because in that way you're telling me that this is extra information about time, but it's not as important as your sentence over here. Okay, so again, you can use these 2 commas over here, Paola, when you want to be very, very formal, but it's optional, okay? When you have a comma with but, it's optional to use those commas. All right?
Okay.
Good. There you
Thank
go.
you.
Great, you're welcome. Let's go to you, please, Larissa. The same, let's read your ideas.
I used to go out with my family every weekend. I used to talk with my friends every day. I didn't used to eat hamburgers, but now I love it. I didn't used to drive, but now I drive almost every day.
Great. Thank you very much, Larissa. I think, again, it's working very good. And the same, right? One more time with this now, as it's a time expression, the best order is to place it at the end, right? And you can say, but now I love it. And this, again, is optional. That's why you don't have to put it over there, but you can place commas there to specify that this is time expression, all right? And again, that's optional, Larissa. Everything else seems very well, also for the next one. I don't know if you have any questions because everything looks good.
Why the number 3 use is with the line blue?
Yes, it's with a blue underlined, right? I was telling that to Wilson. In grammar, all right, in grammar, when you use didn't, and it says, if you read the books, that you don't have to use the D with use, even for questions, all right? When you ask, did you use to do this, all right? You don't use the D. Here, it's very weird. I don't know if it's not identifying the negative sentence. I don't know if it's not identifying the next part, all right? But grammatically speaking, again, it's not going to be the D because of this negative. It's weird, again, that it's marking that one. All right, we're going to check some information if you want. But again, I think it's a mistake that I don't know actually, Larissa, why it's over there. Just in case, we're going to recheck that one. All right, but again, it shouldn't be with D. They want to correct the D, but you don't need D when you have did in negative and when you have did in questions. All right, but again, we're going to double check that one. All right.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Okay, thank you. And let's finish this up with you, please, Daniel. The same, let's read your ideas and then we continue.
Okay. I used to play video games with friends, but now I don't have free time. I used to watch series, but now it's hard not to think that I am wasting my time with it. I didn't used to walk my dog, but I enjoy that time with my puppy now. I didn't used to read books, but now I read at least one per month.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Again, really interesting. I think everything again is working well, right? My main thing, we're going to see that one about series, but again, this one, right? I'm just mentioning this optional comma just in case. Again, when you want to be very formal, as now is not the subject, right? As it's not the main idea, it's going to be with a comma when you want to be very formal, right? Because usually now is at the end of the sentence. Okay, that one.
Okay.
Then watch. I imagine that here they are talking about, before watching or checking that one, is that usually when you have something uncountable or you have something plural, you don't mention that directly. Sometimes you are going to use the word some to mention that idea. I used to watch some series, for example. But let's check if that's the correction. The series, right? No, instead of the series, because the series is very specific. All right, my recommendation would be here, if you want to avoid that one, to say some series. Okay, I used to watch some series, if you don't want to mention which series. Okay, or the other option is to be specific and mentioning what series. But again, as you can see there, it's not a mistake. If you say the series is going to be too specific, and you don't need to be too specific. And here the same, right? I didn't used to walk my dog. Here, usually you are going to use the expression to take a walk with your dog. All right, it's okay to say to walk your dog, but again, we're going to say the correction didn't walk. But again, that correction is not logic, because if you say I didn't walk my dog, right, that's not habit. That's a specific action that you didn't do in the past. So here we're going to keep this idea. All right, I didn't used to walk my dog on a regular basis as habits in past, but now, right, but I enjoy that time with my puppy now. Good. And at the end, right, you don't need any commas. Here the same, it's working good, and just that one again can be optional. I don't know if you have any questions about that, Danny. Let me know, please.
No, teacher, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Now we're going to do something. All right, thanks again for writing, because now we are going to work with questions. We're going to take a look at this one on Pearson. All right, on Pearson, I believe that they only show you the past way, because as Daniel was mentioning before, we're not only going to check the past idea, we're going to check also the present idea. All right, the present idea. And here, as you see here on Pearson, Larissa and Wilson and everybody, this has to be on the base form, all right, in the base form. When you use didn't, okay, I didn't used to. You cannot say, all right, it's incorrect when you say used to, unless now they changed the rules, all right, but I never heard that one. And also in questions, okay, use. So in negative and in questions, you always say use. That's why it's weird. Sometimes Google, and also the sentence that you have, Daniel, number 3, it is correct and it's logic. It's past habit. But they are suggesting, all right, to change that to simple past. But the simple past idea is very different. Okay, it's very different. If you say, I didn't used to walk my dog, that's one completely different idea to I didn't walk my dog. I didn't walk my dog means one time, very specific one time in the past. I didn't used to walk my dog means that you never did that in the past, but now you do it, right? And again, as you can see here on Pearson, and you can check every book, is always the base form. I don't know if Google now it's a little bit crazy, right? Sometimes it has these types of corrections. Or again, sometimes what happens with Google is that it doesn't take into account the whole context or the main idea. All right, sometimes when you write the example, this one I'm going to give you this example. I'm going to see if it's going to correct just in case, all right? And you can again verify. If you find some mistakes again, like that, you always have Google, right? You can go to Google, but if you go to Google again, you're going to verify that grammatically speaking, you say use and not used as Google is saying here, which I find very, very weird. Another example is this one. Okay, at 6 p.m. Let me see if it's going to be a mistake for Google this one. And that's why you have to be careful with machines sometimes. All right, sometimes, not every time. And here, look, this example is correct. I wake up at 6 o'clock a.m. because I want to tell my present routine. But Google wants to change this to woke because Google believes that I want to say one specific idea in past. I woke up at 6 a.m. But no, I want to talk about my routine. All right, so it's okay. This is correct. But again, Google is suggesting this to be woke. All right, so be careful with that one. All right, not everything that is going to be corrected here is going to be logic. All right, sometimes you have to ignore that, but you have to know very well when is correct what you're doing and when you need to accept Google's suggestions. Okay, and it applies to many things. Also in Microsoft Word, right? If you use Word in English, sometimes they give you corrections that are not going to be logic. Okay, you have to double check. All right, it's always important to double check before accepting these corrections. All right, that's my recommendation. But again, you are free to explore and to see if there are other options to use this one in a different way. All right, but again, as far as I know, this is the one that you should use in grammar, okay, at least in grammar. But now let's continue. All right, so let's remember affirmative, negative. Now, to go to the questions, these are the questions. Here, you're not going to write ideas, you are going to ask each other. Okay, so Daniel, Wilson, Larissa, and Paola, you are going to ask questions to each other because I want you to find out about your partner's past habits. And you have to guess. In this case, you're going to try to guess or you're going to ask specific questions. Okay, so this is going to be for you, please. Larissa, please, questions.
Make the inversion to write sentences and still use the base form of the expressions. Use to. Did you used to travel this often? What did you used to do when you were a child? Where did you used to go when you lived in Cochabamba?
Thank you, Larissa. That's correct. So questions, only inversion, and here one more time, okay? Again, at least grammatically speaking, and according to books, according to Pearson, and all the knowledge that I got, anytime you use it, you're going to use and not used, okay? That's the first thing. In questions, also do it in that way, please. You can ask yes, no questions, right? So did you used to go to that gym? And you can say, yes, I did, or no, I didn't. But you have a WH question, you need to give information, right? What did you used to do when you were a child? I used to play with my friends, right? I used to go out every time and blah, 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 right? And then where? Location with habits. Where did you used to go when you lived in Cochabamba? And you explain, right? I used to go to this place, to that place, and I used to do this and that in those places, and so on and so forth. All right, so with that idea, please, everybody, Daniel again, Wilson, Daniel, Larissa, Paola, we are going to ask each other some examples. Okay, at least I want you to ask your partners at least 2 questions. All right, 2 questions. You decide what question. You can be very specific. Okay, and for example, I'm going to start. I'm going to ask Daniel some questions, and then Daniel, you're going to ask questions to Wilson, and then Wilson to Larissa, and so on. Okay, I'm going to tell you, but I start with you, Daniel, and I'm going to ask you this. Daniel, what did you used to do? What did you used to do during the pandemic?
Okay. I used to play video games with friends because we were bored many times.
Good, very good, thank you. One more question, and it's going to be, where did you used to travel? Okay, where did you used to travel when you were younger?
Okay, I used to travel to Argentina when I was between 8 and 12 years old.
Very good, great. And even you're giving me more details about that one, which is perfect. Okay, great, Daniel. So that's it. Okay, those are my questions. Now, Daniel, let's do the same, please. You can ask 2 questions, the questions that you want about past routines or past habits to Wilson. Let's ask those questions, please.
Okay, Wilson, where did you prefer to go when you were a child?
Where did I prefer?
Yes.
Let's use used to, right? It's better if we use used to, right? Where did you used to go? Because we need to use used to in the answer also.
Okay, where did you used to go when you were a child?
To my cousin's house because he had a football game, El PES, in a PlayStation.
Okay.
Good. That's
did you used to play soccer when you were younger?
Yes, when I used to play soccer with my partners at university.
good, good. And you can use the first context, right? And you can say, yes, when I was younger, I used to play soccer, right? With my partners. Great, perfect. Thank you, Wilson. Thank you, Daniel. And also, and Daniel, that question, of course, it was good. Okay, it was perfect in English, right? What did you prefer to, or where did you prefer to go, right, when you were a child? Okay, it's perfect. Here, it's only just to practice this used to, all right? Because in that question, optionally, Wilson can say, I used to, but not necessarily, right? And in that case, just to practice used to, we're going to change, all right? Just to clarify, Daniel.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Wilson, the same, please. Now you're going to ask 2 questions to Larissa about her past habits or past routines.
Okay, Larissa, where did you used to go with your family?
I used to go to new town. It's like pueblos, new town.
To new towns, yes. If they were new to you, you can say to new towns. You can say to different towns, to new towns. It's possible, Larissa. You can say that.
That I used to go to know new town.
Good. One more, please, Wilson. One more question.
What topics did you use to talk with your friends?
I used to talk about our favorite artists.
Good. Yes, I used to talk about, or we, right? You can say as a group, right? We used to talk about.
Yes, we used to talk about our favorite artists.
Okay, great. Perfect. Thank you, Larissa. Only one detail, please, in the question, Wilson. Remember that you're always going to use the preposition, right? So instead of what did you use to talk with your friends, it's going to be what did you use to talk about with your friends? Okay, with that preposition before. So you have two prepositions together, right, Wilson? About and with. They are together, but it's not incorrect, okay? Because the first preposition is for talk, and the other preposition is talking about the persons or the people you are interacting with. Okay, just that one. Good. Thank you very much, Wilson. Also, Larissa. Great, you're welcome. Larissa, the same, please. You're going to ask questions to Paola this time.
Okay. What did you used to like to the Christmas when you was child?
In that one, when you were, right? When you were a child.
Okay, when you were a child.
Okay.
What did you used to like?
Yes.
Or what?
Like
Okay.
about the Christmas.
I used to like when my grandma cook some pasteles for the next day for Christmas.
Okay, good. Two details there, Paola. As it's past, everything is past, you're going to say when my grandma cooked. Okay, or you can again use this expression if you want. When my grandma used to cook or cooked, all right, and you can say cakes, right? Some cakes.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Let's repeat that idea, please, Paola.
Okay. I used to like when my grandma cooked some cakes.
Good. Very well. That's one. One more, please, Larissa. One more question.
Okay. Did you used to have a favorite series when you was child?
And that long, remember when you were, right? When you were a child?
I forgot. Did you used to have a favorite channel or series maybe when you were a child?
When I was a child, my parents don't like to I watch TV. So I pass my time in the garden and sometimes reading a book.
All right, good. In that one, the only thing, all right, remember, in your question, Larissa, I think it's good. You can ask in general favorite series or favorite series, right? When you were a child, okay? But that's good. And in the answer, Paola, as this first is a yes/no question, right? You can say yes, I did, or no, I didn't. Okay, you can start with that. Okay, yes, I did, no, I didn't. And then after that, you can say, no, I didn't. My parents, and remember, you're not going to say don't, as that was a past situation, you're going to say didn't, right? So my parents didn't like, right, when I was in front of the TV, or didn't want me to watch TV all the time. So I spent my childhood, or I spent all my time in the garden, right, playing outside. All right, you can give that idea, but again, the main idea there, Paula, it's going to be always give first the answer and then use past. Okay, so let's repeat that idea, please.
Okay. No, I didn't. My parents didn't like to see me in front of the TV.
Okay, good. Yes, yes. To see me in front of the TV. That's correct.
Oh, okay, so I spent my time in the garden.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Larissa. Thank you, Paola. And we're going to finish with you, please, Paola. Now you're going to ask this time questions, but the questions this time are going to be for me. Okay, so ask me 2 questions, please, Paola.
Okay. Where did you used to travel when you were a child?
Great, thank you. When I was a child, I used to travel to Argentina, to Peru, and Chile. All right, that's one. One more, please, Paola.
Did you used to cook often?
No, I didn't. Actually, when I was younger, or when I was a child, right? You can say at the specific time, I didn't used to cook very often. Okay, now I do, but not in the past. All right, that's it. Thank you again, Paola, and everybody. I think it was great. All right, so just have that in mind. All right, when you use a specific idea with did and you use, it means that you're talking about past, right? All of these are past situations. So if you're going to give a context, everything has to be in past, right? And you can say, yes, but my parents didn't like when I was, or didn't used to do this. So you can use the expression used to a lot, or you can use other verbs in past, right? But it's important that the context is in past, unless you're talking about now. So you can say, no, I didn't used to do it, right? But actually now I do it very, very often, right? Contrary to what it was in past or in the past. Okay, so that's it. If you have any questions about these questions, let me know. We're not going to write examples, all right, for this one. We're going to write examples for the next part. But let me know if you have any questions, please. No? All right. So these are the formulas. Again, be careful with that one and be careful with the corrections. But again, these formulas are according to grammar. Right, and these rules for grammar apply for international tests. Sometimes in informal English, you can use these expressions in different ways, but the formal ways to use them, okay, are this one. Affirmative, used to. Negative, didn't used to. And questions, did you used to? So as any verb in past, right, when you have the auxiliary, you need to use the base form according to this rule. You know this one, this is just something extra in case you have some questions. Now, this is what you were telling me, Danielle, and we're going to take a look at this now, all right? We have two important elements that are not the same as used to, right? And they are different. And to give you this example, to explain this one, I'm going to write the example here, okay? And again, be careful. I'm deleting this one. Again, be careful with the corrections and be sure when you know, right, when to take them and when not to take them into account. So the first example, I used to cook. Okay, I used to cook. It means this is past, right? This is a past situation. It means that in the past you cooked repeatedly, but now you don't. Okay, not anymore, you can say. Not anymore. It means you don't do it anymore. This is something different. I am used to cooking, right? This is not past, this is present, okay? And this means that you feel comfortable doing this, okay? That's the meaning. You feel comfortable doing this. You are accustomed to doing this, all right? And remember here, you have to use ing, okay? This is different, okay? This is the main lesson. I'm going to make it bigger, okay? This is the most important, okay? Pay attention to this. The lesson is about this, all right? If you understand this, then you're okay. But I'm showing you other options because this exists, all right? But you have to be careful. I am used to cooking is correct. It's incorrect if you say this, I am used to cook, okay? And now here Google is correct, okay? So cooking. So it's going to be with ing, all right? I am used to cooking, present. Again, you are accustomed to do it. Is you do it frequently now in the present, okay? And you're going to say often. Or you often do it, let's say, okay, to have the perfect order. Because if you change the order, you have to use punctuation or other details, okay? That's the best order. You often do it. And you have one more, get, but get is usually used in past or in continuous forms. So you can say, I am getting, okay, used to. That's actually to see the difference. We're going to use this in past. So, okay, got. I got used to cooking. And it means, all right, even though this is past, all right, this happened in past, but all right, the consequences can be seen in present, all right? That's the idea, or in the present, you can say if you want. Sorry. Okay, so that's the idea. So I am used to cooking. It means that now you feel comfortable with cooking, that you do it very often. Okay, so you are used to cooking. It's not something new for you. All right, it's not new for you. And when you say I got used to cooking, it means that sometime in the past, right, you started feeling comfortable with cooking. You started cooking very often and you got accustomed to cooking. And now you cook, all right, because you are used to cooking. So the consequence, it will be, let's do it in this way. Okay, this is going to be afterwards. It's better that way. First, you can say you got used to cooking. Now you can say that you are used to cooking. Okay, in the past, you got used to it. And in the present, now you are used to it. All right, now, again, to see the difference, this is just to show you the three elements over there. We're going to read this information over here to complement that idea. All right, we're going to read this with you, please, Wilson. It says, be careful. Let's read the formula, please, and this one over here.
Be careful. Subject plus be used to plus gerund plus complement. Subject plus get used to plus gerund plus complements, any tense. Those are different expressions used with a different purpose.
Very good. Purpose, correct. Good. So as you can see, this is not used to. Okay, the examples that we were practicing, Daniel, Wilson, Larissa, and Paola, it was used to, only used to. Okay, I used to travel. That's past. Okay, you have only I. You don't have the verb to be. Okay, you don't have the verb to be. You have only used to and then travel. It means in the past, your habit was to travel, but not anymore. Okay, but be used to is different. Okay, and with be used to, you don't use base verb, you use gerund. Okay, this is the first big difference. And we covered this one with you, right, Daniel and Larissa before, but very briefly, it was something extra. Now we are covering it as part of this lesson. So please be, used to only with the base verb, be used to with the gerund, and get used to with gerund. All right, because these can be present ideas, or at least the consequence can be seen, all right, seen in the present. Let's take a look at some examples to understand even better. Again, you may have questions. This is not the main topic, all right, the main idea in the topic, but it's important that you see the difference, all right? This one is going to be for you, please, Daniel. Be careful, the next part, please.
Okay. Choose be used to say you're accustomed to something, and so it seems normal or usual. If you are used to something, it is not difficult, new or strange. Don't worry, I'm used to listening to loud music. She's used to dancing with her friends. It's not new for her.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Daniel. So you use be used to, all right, in present. That's the most common use, all right? That's the most common use. In present, I am used to, she is used to, they are used to, plus gerund, listening, dancing. When you want to say that it's normal for you, you feel comfortable with that one, okay? It's not new, again, or strange, as they are saying. Okay, so it's something that you are accustomed to doing, okay? This word is similar to Spanish, right? You understand this one. This is almost a Spanish, right? Accustomed to. To be accustomed to do something, that's the meaning of be used to. All right, and as you can see, is different from only used to. Used to is past habits. Be used to means be accustomed to. All right, now you're going to let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to go to the document one more time to show you one last detail. But again, you have to understand this difference. The main topic is this one. I used to cook. This is past. And let's say even past habit. It's better. All right. A past habit or past habits. Not anymore. They got used to, all right, or get used to, it means the process. Okay, it's the process that happened or is happening, all right? If it finished, then you use past. If it's happening, you use present perfect, present continuous. And now then I'm going to give you the word, and I'm used to cooking. It means that you feel comfortable with that. So Danny, let me know what your question is, please.
Okay, teacher, it's very common to ask to another person if he is accustomed to something. So my question is, which is the best form to ask using used to, or how can we use in negative for in present?
In present and in any form, Daniel, be is the main form here, right? You're talking about this one. I am used to cooking. It means that in negative, you only say not.
I'm not.
Questions can be so. So the only thing you're going to say, for example, for a question, you can say, hey, are you used to, right, traveling? this often? Are you used to traveling this often? All right, that's a question to know about that person in terms of he, right, or she being accustomed to do something. Okay, so are you used to traveling? Are you used to doing that? Are you used to going to parties every weekend? Right? Are you? And in negative, the only thing can be aren't. This can be aren't. Okay, aren't you used to? Or it can be are you not, okay, used to the rest of the idea. Okay, so aren't you used to finishing everything on time? Okay, aren't you used to finishing everything on time? What for questions, you can have affirmative questions, right? Are you used to blah, blah, blah? Sorry, I think I had some problems with my internet connection. Let me know, please, if you heard. But
We
these
can
are
hear
the
you.
options. Okay, so these are the options, Daniel. Affirmative questions, are you used to plus gerund? Negative questions, but this is kind of to verify information. Okay, aren't you used to finishing everything on time? Right, so you want to verify information. Or this can be a little bit more formal. Are you not used to doing this kind of task? All right, so these are the three ways, Daniel and everybody, that you have to ask questions about being accustomed to doing something to someone. All right, and you can use all of those, Daniel. I don't know if it
Great.
helps answering the question.
No, it's easy, as I say.
Good, there you
Thank
go.
you.
Thank you, Daniel, you're welcome. Now, let's work with some examples, okay? First, actually, let's do something, okay? So that you see the process. I want to check one more part. It's this one. This is the last part. But I want you to use this first because you're going to see that this goes first and then it goes the be used to. Okay, so let's read this also, please, before writing the examples. And you're going to see what's the sequence. And this is going to be for you, please. Larissa, be careful. One more time.
This phrase is related in meaning to be used to. The difference is that get used to means someone is, was, or will become accustomed to something. So the verb get in the phrase can take the present, past, or future tense. I get up at 7 a.m. every day. I'm getting used to waking up early. She is getting used to dancing alone. Her friends don't dance with her like before.
Thank you very much, Larissa. Now, be used to, right, and get used to. Now you're going to see again the difference, okay? You're going to see the sequence. It's important that you understand this sequence. If you understand this sequence, then this is clear for you. Okay, so first you can say, this is the first idea. And you can say, I don't like going out. Okay, I don't like going out. Okay, this is the first idea. Then, because I met a girl, okay, and that girl likes to go out, then I need to change, right? You can say, this is an example. I need to change. So now I need to, okay, I need to be accustomed to going out, at least with her. So if you want to talk about that process, you can say, I am getting, okay, the best option to use get is in the present continuous. Okay, that's the best option for using get, but not always. As you can see here, it can be in past. Okay, but you're going to use it in present continuous, please. I am getting used to going out with her. Okay, I am getting used to. So you are not used to do it yet. Okay, but I am in the process. Okay, I am in the process of, right, getting used to it. Sorry, to it. Okay, I'm not used to it yet. I'm not accustomed to it yet, but I'm in the process. Okay, I'm getting used to going out with her. And finally, right, when you are, then you can say, I am used to going out with her. Okay, so first, you didn't like, you didn't do it. Okay, so I don't go. You can say here, so I don't go out. Okay, so first you don't go out. Then you are getting used to going out. Okay, you are getting used to, you are getting accustomed to going out. And finally, when you are, you can say, now I am used to going out with her, right? It's not new for me. It's not strange. It's part of something I do. Okay, it's something common for me to do it. Okay, and I can go out, and I go out not every weekend, but I do it frequently. Okay, that's what you can say. So I am getting used to the process of doing something, and you are used to. It means that you are accustomed to do that now, and it's not new for you. Okay, again, if you have any questions for this, please let me know. If not, we are going to write examples this time, please. And you're going to follow this logic, at least these 2 steps, all right? Daniel, Wilson, Larissa, and Paola. Tell me something that you are getting used to doing. Okay, you're in the process. You are not accustomed yet, but you're in the process of getting accustomed to it. And tell me some things that you are used to doing. For example, you can say, right, I'm used to giving classes. I'm used to speaking English because I speak English all the time, right? I'm used to using my cell phone every time. Okay, I use my cell phone every time. So I am used to using my cell phone every time. All right, let's do it, please. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. If not, 2 ideas, okay, 2 examples with getting used to, okay, and 2 examples with be used to. And remember, both of them are always, okay, always, 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 no exceptions, with gerund. You never say go or to go. It's always going to be going. Okay, let's do it, please, guys. Okay, again, 3 minutes and we check, please. We check in 1 more minute, please. Okay, so let's take a look at your examples. All right, let's remember 2 examples with getting used to doing something and 2 examples with being used to do something. All right, or to doing something again. So it's always going to be a process and the result of that process, being used to doing, getting used to doing. I'm going to start with you. Let me see. Paola, I think you have all your examples, so that's great. Let's read your examples, please, Paola.
Okay, I am getting used to waking up at 5 a.m. I am used to waking up at 5 a.m. I am getting used to driving every day. I am used to driving every day. I am getting used to drinking 2 liters a day, and I am used to drinking 2 liters a day.
Perfect. I think they are great. All right. They are very, very good examples, Paola. Just to practice, okay, and to practice the explanation, Paola, because everything is correct. What is the difference between I am getting used to waking up at 5 a.m. and I am used to waking up at 5 a.m., Paola?
Okay, in the first one, when you use getting, is something that you don't do every day. So sometimes you don't get up at 5. And when you use I am used to waking up at 5 a.m. is that you do every day. So maybe you can now it's a habit.
Okay, good. Yes, you can say that. That was great. All right. You used your words and it was great, Paola. Thank you very much. It's correct. In the first one, it's not because you don't want, right? But it's the process, right? You are getting used to waking up at 5 a.m. But sometimes you don't wake up. Sometimes you are still sleeping, right? And you say, it's too early, right? You're getting used to. But when you are used to waking up at 5 a.m., it's not new for you. It's not difficult for you. You can do it easily without any problems because it's a habit and you can do it anytime you want. Right? Great. Thank you, Paola. I don't know if you have any questions about this new structure, Paola, because this is different as I used to live, for example, right? Do you have any questions about those differences?
No, teacher. Now it's clear.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Very good. Let's do the same with you, please, Wilson. Let's read your ideas with getting used to and be used to.
Okay. I'm getting used to sleeping at 10 p.m. I'm getting used to eating more healthily. I'm used to traveling to Potosi every week. I'm used to doing so many things at the same time.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Wilson. Again, I think you don't have any problems. It's working very, very well, Wilson. Again, just for practicing, what is the difference between saying, and I'm going to use only this example, okay? What's the difference if I say, Wilson, I'm getting used to sleeping at 10 p.m. or I am used to sleeping at 10 p.m.? What's the difference between those two?
I'm getting used to sleeping at 10 p.m. is the process that I am doing right now, but it's not completely. And
You can say it's not complete anymore, or it's not done completely anymore.
okay, it's not completely anymore, but I'm used to sleeping at 10 p.m. I am an expert sleeping at 10 p.m.
Exactly, right? It means it's not new for you, right? And you can say that one, right? Sometimes it's because you're an expert at doing something that you don't have any problems with that, right? For example, this one, you can say that you always do many things at the same time, that you are an expert at doing so. So you can say that you're used to doing it without any problem. So I think that was great also, Will. So I don't know if you have any questions about these different structures.
Not teacher.
Thank you very much. Good. Larissa, let's continue with you, please, Larissa.
I'm getting used to going to the gym every morning. I'm getting used to reading a book at night. I am used to cooking my breakfast. I'm used to listening to music while I train.
Thank you very much, Larissa. Again, I think it's working great. In this one, just one suggestion, okay? Because it is correct. You can say while, and you can say then the simple present.
Well,
All right. My suggestion is going to be only sometimes in grammar it can be better to use the present continuous after while. Okay, it's not obligatory. That's why this is a suggestion. Okay, and you can say while I am training. All right, sometimes that can be more common than while I train. Okay, but again, it's not incorrect. Okay, it's just an extra suggestion, Larissa. So again, everything is working good. The same question, just to use your words, Larissa. What is the difference between I am used to cooking my breakfast and I am getting used to cooking my breakfast?
because before I didn't make my breakfast. I buying.
So before it was something that you didn't do, right? It's
Mm.
something that you didn't do. But when you say I'm used to doing that, it means that now you do it, right? And it's not new for you and it's not difficult for you, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Again, any questions about that one, Larissa, let me know, please.
No, teacher, it's clear.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. And Daniel, let's finish this up with you, please. Let's read your examples.
Okay, I'm getting used to writing in English without translation help. I'm getting used to reading books at least 3 times per week. And I'm used to waking up at 5 a.m. I'm used to going to the gym 5 times per week.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Again, it's working great. I see that, well, everything all right. Again, it's correct. I have no observations. I'm just going to ask you to do the same, please, Daniel, all right? Because it's very good. Tell me, please, again, what's the difference between I am getting used to waking up at 5 a.m. and I'm used to waking up at 5 a.m.?
Okay, getting used to is an activity that you are getting, well, you're getting accustomed to do. Maybe it's not 100% a habit in your life, but you are getting to. And used to is an activity that you're accustomed to do, or is maybe a habit in your in daily routine.
Great. Thank you, Daniel. Yes, that was great. Okay, that was a great explanation, and you're right. Again, the last question also for you, Daniel. Do you have any questions? Now, is it clear for you? Because you asked me for this one, right? Do you have any more questions, perhaps, Daniel, about this be used to and when to use it?
No, teacher. My questions were the how to use in negative form on how to ask for this one.
Great, thank you then, Daniel. That's great. And again, for negative, in questions, we saw that here, right? And here, the only thing you do is adding not. I am not used to waking up at 5 a.m. So it's not your routine, it's not your thing. You don't do that very often. It's not common for you, right? I am not used to traveling very often. It means, again, that it's not your thing. All right, you are not accustomed to doing that. Okay, remember, even if you here use accustomed, you still have to use the ing. Okay, so you can say, for example, I am accustomed to waking up at 5 a.m. Okay, so in both cases, used and accustomed, you have to use gerund. Okay, that's the only reminder I'm going to give you. And with that, we're going to be finished. All right, yesterday we spent some extra time to finish the class. So today we're going to be finishing over here. All right, let me know, please, if you have any questions about these lessons before finishing and giving you some last reminders and suggestions. Do you have any questions, guys? Let me know.
No, in my side, teacher.
Okay, great. Thank you. There you go. So if everything is clear, as always, at the, in the last part, right, at the end of this presentation, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 links. Okay, and these links are for you to practice used to. I believe that you also have, I'm not sure if I added that at the end, to practice be used to or get used to. I think I did, because they don't have that in the link, but at least you have that to practice used to, which is the main topic of this lesson. All right, used to. Be used to and get used to is something extra, but again, it's important that you see the difference between those ideas. All right. If that's it, again, and you don't have any more questions or comments, the last reminders, please remember Pearson. We are on the last unit. Today is the starting date, and it's going to be until Tuesday. Monday is going to be holiday, all right? So we don't have a class on Monday. So the Monday class is going to be on Tuesday. Okay, so Tuesday, we don't have a conversation then next week, right? Next week, Tuesday, is going to be a class that we're going to have on Tuesday. All right, the last class for you to ask me questions, for finishing, all right, with the last lesson. And that's mainly going to be it for Tuesday. And also remember that the final exam is already on Pearson over here. And it's going to be available for you starting on Saturday. And you can take it if you want Saturday or Sunday or Monday or Tuesday. Okay, this time Tuesday is going to be the last day for you to take this final exam. I'm not sure if classes next course are going to start on Wednesday. Perhaps not. If it's not Wednesday, very likely they are going to start on Friday next week or Monday, even the following week to that. All right, that was just the last recommendation, guys. As always, please, I'm going to ask you to fill out today's survey, and that's going to be it. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow in the conversation. Bye-bye.
Bye, teacher. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye, teacher.
Bye. See you. Good night.
Bye, teacher. Thank you.
Bye-bye.